So about a year ago, I decided to paint and stencil our bathroom tile floors. Today in this video, we're going to talk about the products that I used, how it's holding up, and then stick around to the end and I will tell you whether or not I would do it again. So when I started this project, one of the things I did was not only look at all of the how-tos and all of the success stories, but also all of the fails because I didn't want to do what those people did and instead wanted to learn from their mistakes. After finding the pros and the cons to painted stencil tile floors, I decided to go with this method that I'm about to share with you guys. And basically what you want to do is you're going to want to clean your tile, and then you're going to want to clean it again. You want it to be super clean. Some methods even suggested sanding down your tile floor. I actually did that in here. There was no benefit. Anyways, you're gonna prime with the Zinzer 123, the bullseye primer. You're not gonna use the spray. I just didn't have the quart size to show you guys, but it's this brand. And then you're gonna basically follow the instructions on that. You're gonna do 2 coats of primer, let that set overnight, and then you're gonna use, the paint that I used was the Valspar Porch, Floor, and Patio Latex paint. And again, you're gonna follow the instructions on dry times on this, and you're gonna do 2 coats. Now, you are gonna wanna set aside probably a week for cure time and everything. So I did order my stencil from Cutting Edge Stencils. They have a huge inventory of different stencils, and they can actually do custom sizes. I actually ordered a custom size for our upstairs bathroom. Unfortunately, that tile was a different kind of tile. It had some raised areas and movement in it, and so it didn't really work out. But keep them in mind if you are looking for stencils. And I recommend getting 2 because you need to clean them in between, like probably after every 5 uses. What you're going to apply it with is a foam roller, and I highly suggest that with the stencil you practice on a piece of cardboard first because it really takes very light pressure and not as much paint as you think you would need. There's a couple of different ways that you can actually hold your stencil in place on the tile. You can use a spray adhesive. I didn't do that. I don't know why. I did just use painter's tape and attach it in different areas to make sure that it stayed flat. After you get done stenciling and everything, you're gonna wanna seal it with a polycrylic, not a polyurethane. The polyurethane will turn it yellow. The polycrylic is a water-based, and yeah, I used it in semi-gloss, and I recommend doing probably 2 to 3 coats, depending on the traffic area. And you can do, I mean, up to how many ever you want, 5 if you'd like. I wouldn't necessarily say it's difficult. I would say it's more tedious, especially depending on the size of room or whatnot that you're doing. And then also depending on what type of personality you are. If you like things perfect, maybe this isn't the way to go. But if you are okay with a few flaws and character, it'd be great. So I would say the hardest part about this project was probably the wait times, especially if maybe this is your only bathroom. That would be a little difficult to do because I recommend not walking on it for 24 hours in between each coats. But yeah. So the floor overall is holding up really well. There are a few nicks in it, which is to be expected because I only put 1 sealing coat over it. I got into a rush and the bathroom was out of order for over a week, and I just I just rushed the process. So I highly recommend doing more than one ceiling coat, 2 or 3 if it is a high traffic area. But yeah, there are a few nicks and a few spots. They are pretty inconspicuous. There is one about right here, but there's normally a rug that goes here, so nobody sees it. And then a few spots around the toilet area. Now, I could go back and touch those up and then reseal it, which is something that I am actually going to do. But yeah, they're holding up pretty well. All right, so the moment I'm sure you guys are all waiting for is whether or not I would do this again. And the answer is yes, I would. This stenciling and painting this tile floor made such a huge difference in this overall bathroom refresh that we decided to do. It brought in this character and whimsy that I wouldn't have been able to do because we weren't ready to rip out the tile. So I was able to, like I said, transform this space for a fraction of what it would have cost to rip out the tile. All right, so if this video was helpful, be sure and hit that like button. And then if you have any questions about this process, make sure you put them in the comments. I would love to answer them for you. And then other than that, we will see you next week.